Alright, what is up YouTube? James Baek here. Welcome back to another episode of VGC 2018 Back Battles. Today is the last time we're going to be using this Mega Altaria team with Mega Altaria, Cresselia, Milotic, Incineroar, Tapu Bulu, and Aegislash. Let's get started. Now we've had some mediocre finishes in the past few videos. If you haven't checked out the past few videos, I highly recommend go checking them out. But I think we went 1-1 3 times in a row, and we had a really good start with this team. So I'm hoping it can end up going strong or positive in the end, at least maybe a 2-1, or if we even get to find 3 games, because all the games we played are really long, and of course that is a factor because of this team, of how it plays. It likes to play a bit defensively and wait for that opportune time to set up, such as the Bulu, the Cresselia, or the Altaria. So let us see. Also, there are a bunch of Mega Evolutions everyone has been requesting, and let me know which Mega Evolution you want to see down below in the comments. I'll try to pick the ones that either most interest me or the ones that have been the most highly requested. And yes, there are quite a few. I do have some teams in progress currently that I think people will enjoy. The next team should be still pretty exciting, yet yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Otherwise, let me just talk about my final words for this team. Well, I guess I could do that at the end, but so far, when I think of this team as how I've been playing it for the past few days compared to probably the end overall. But right now, Mega Altaria has impressed me. It actually has. It's done more work, as I've mentioned before, than I originally thought. I thought I was going to not really be bringing Mega Altaria, or wouldn't really be doing much work. It did quite a bit more work than I expected to, which I'm really happy about. It's really nice of a Pokemon because it can wall certain Pokemon, such as like Bulu, such as Incineroar, can get a Dragon Dance up. Milotic helps with that because it pressures the Intimidate uses from coming in. Otherwise, I could have a boost of Milotic next to a plus speed Altaria if I Dragon Dance and they try to get Intimidate off. So yeah, it's been a pretty nice Pokemon to have. We got a 70-10 rated player from Japan, and I do think I like the physical variant of Altaria more. And it looks like we finally get to have a rain matchup, and this looks pretty good for my Cresselia. Like, this looks really good for my Cresselia. Very fun. So how do I want to approach this? We got Ludicolo, Pelipper, Snorlax, Metagross, Swampert, and Tapu Koko. So 2 potential Mega Evolutions in Swampert and Metagross. You have to assume Swampert would be a Mega Evolution on a rain team. And then Metagross doesn't have to be a Mega Evolution, but could also be a Mega Evolution. We don't know. The Snorlax, I'm assuming, since there's no really big partner to it, it might be like a Trichomancer, it might be a Curslax, or it might be a Choice Band set. So that's my thoughts on how that's going to go. Let's see what I exactly want to go here. I think Aegislash is decent. Aegislash is decent. I definitely want Tapu Bulu for sure. I think I want Altaria, Cresselia, Incineroar, Tapu Bulu. That's what I'm looking at right now because I like the pressure that all of them can have. Although I do kind of like Aegislash. I think Aegislash is pretty useful. I do want something to just check the Swampert with Intimidate, so that's why I kind of want to bring Incineroar. So I think I'm going to go... Let's lead Altaria plus the Cresselia right off the bat. Have Incineroar and Tapu Bulu in the back. I like Tapu Bulu because it helps against Snorlax, because it can do a lot of damage to Swampert and the Tapu Koko. And Incineroar again to help check the Swampert in case I do have my Cresselia set up and I need to weaken the physical damage output my opponent has. And the Snorlax would like to knock it off if it is a berry set, because, you know, Curse would be pretty annoying, especially since I have Side Shock on Cresselia. So, Pelipper Swampert is going to lead here, which is alright for me. Yeah, that's alright for me. I can lead Altaria, Cresselia. No fake out pressure. I could get a Calm Mind up pretty safely. The speed advantage my opponent doesn't have. It's non-existent at this point. And yeah, this looks pretty good here for me to just protect Calm Mind turn 1. I don't really see a problem with going for protect Calm Mind turn 1. How many Calm Minds do I want to get up? I think I only need 1 or 2 with Cresselia, then I can start getting a lot of damage output. I think at plus 2 I could get a 2-hit knockout on the Pelipper, and yeah, I think I could get 2-hit knockout Pelipper with Side Shock. I do want to get rid of Pelipper. So we'll see what happens here, but I am going to go for Calm Mind Protect turn 1. I do want to keep Cloud9 on the field, so I am going to protect, and I don't want to take an Ice Punch. Although, I don't know if it's Ice Punch on this Swampert. It most likely is, but it could be a Rock Slide variant too. because Metagross could potentially carry the Ice Punch. So we're going to see Swampert Mega Evolve. Won't really matter too much. I mean, unfortunately, Max Speed Swampert still outspeeds my Cresselia. But we'll see what happens. And I'm talking about Max Speed Adamant. As I will protect Altaria and see what my opponent goes for turn 1. Calm Mind will come out. Oh, I'm faster than Swampert, so it might be a slower Swampert or has a bit of bulk. Alright, get that Calm Mind up. Tailwind might be coming out, which is alright. Brine coming out, actually, into the Cresselia. Okay. And a Waterfall. Respectable. That still does a good amount. Yeah, that really still does a good amount. I kind of wish I let Bulu now, but I guess this isn't too bad. I can go for... I think I could go for a... Incineroar switch in and just Psyshock the Pelipper, trying to get as much damage as possible. Because I really just don't want to take an Ice Punch in the Cresselia. And if my opponent wants to double up, at least I'll be able to get... At least I'll be able to, one, prevent Waterfall into Brine from knocking out Cresselia. 2, I really don't want to lose my... I really just don't want to lose my Altaria. So I will get Psyshock off into the Pelipper. For a... Yeah, it's not 2 KO. Pelipper going to get a Tailwind up. And what's my opponent going to do with the Swampert? Going to go for that Ice Punch, and it is going to target down the Incineroar. So, I guess a little bit of a bad note is the fact that since Swampert's now faster, a Brine is going to affect my Cresselia quite heavily because of the fact that it'll be doubled in power after a Waterfall. So, I got to think about this. I could go back into Altaria, which I'm thinking of, in case you want to Waterfall the Incineroar. And I think I'll Moonlight here because of the fact that if I do have Cloud9 up on the field, I will be able to heal. And Altaria, who knows, might be able to live a Ice Punch. I know it's going to be a -1 Ice Punch against a ×4 weakness Pokemon. But Altaria is not exactly the frailest Pokemon in the world, so I feel like it might be able to handle it. Would like this Moonlight up. I don't think my opponent should protect, even though Fake Out's pretty obvious. The Fake Out damage isn't really going to matter. But we're going to see the Swampert withdraw, which is actually really ideal here. Tapu Koko going to appear on the field, and that's really good for me, actually. So, I could have faked out the Pelipper, which I also thought could have been the option, but I really didn't want Incineroar to take too much damage yet. As we'll retreat here, go into my Altaria, and see what my opponent goes for. Cloud9, so these water type moves will be doing less damage. Hurricane is inaccurate, but does connect the Hurricane. Does about, quite a bit of damage, but I do get a fully healed Cresselia out. And this is looking pretty good because now I can fire off a Z move if I really want to. Z move probably doesn't knock out Tapu Koko, but it would knock out the Pelipper. I could also go out in my Bulu, which doesn't seem like a bad play, but I'm worried about a Hurricane double up. How many turns of Tailwind left? 2. Yeah, I'll go for the Shattered Psyche and the Pelipper. Pelipper is the main threat to my Bulu, so if I get rid of Pelipper, I feel really good about my position. Looks like no protect from the Pelipper, as we will protect with Altaria here. As Thunder going to come out. Cresselia does avoid. Remember, it is inaccurate in the... Even though Rain is technically up, it's not because of Cloud9. They gain that effect. Oh, the confusion, though. I'd rather Thunder plus Hurricane would have hit the Cresselia. I do get the Shattered Psyche off, which is perfect, though. So, Shattered Psyche going to come out. Target down my opponent's Pelipper. Rain is no longer going to be an option once the Rain runs out, although I think it might be Damp Rock Pelipper. Not exactly too sure. Now, my opponent has been making excellent plays in predicting the obvious protects from my Altaria, but I'm just making the safe play because Cresselia is not really going to be threatened too much here, as we will be able to knock out the Pelipper here, and that's excellent for me. So, nice. And let's see what my opponent's going to bring out. If it's a Swampert, I do have a backup plan in... I think I want to switch out. Yeah, Swampert's going to come out. I don't want... Even though Cresselia is in a pretty good position with the +1, I don't see it being too useful here. I think a Gleam plus Waterfall could come out. There are a bunch of things that could come out. I'm worried about a Waterfall into Altaria, anticipating the double up. Because I could go Incineroar here, technically. But I could see Waterfalling my Cresselia too. You know what? I don't really need Incineroar too much, so I think I'm gonna actually pull a double switch because I do want to reset this confusion. Because I'd rather have Cresselia reset here, and I'll get rid of this electric terrain too. And I'll have fake out pressure for later. So we'll bring back the Incineroar here. Throw down this Intimidate onto my opponent's Swampert and get my Bulu in for grassy terrain. Because grassy terrain is benefiting me. Because now I can threaten Wood Hammer, and if you want to reset the terrain, Tapu Koko has to probably switch out by going for a Volt Switch or protecting. So, get my Bulu's Grassy Surge up. As we're going to see the Thunder once again, that's probably going to target down my Cresselia slot, which is the Bulu. Yep. Doing a good amount of damage. That's a little bit unfortunate. Life Orb Tapu Koko revealed here. Waterfall going to come out into the Tapu Bulu slot. Doesn't activate my berry. Rain stops, so it was actually not a Damp Rock set. Okay. That pair is really unfortunate, though, because I would have outsped the Swampert. That's really unfortunate. I don't know what exactly my opponent has in the back, but I think a Fake Out into Swampert and a Hornleech sounds pretty good to me right now. Onto the Tapu Koko. I could also retreat Incineroar, go out into something like my Cresselia, for instance. That could also be a decent play if I expect to double protect here. Yet, I think I'm fine with just going for Fake Out Hornleech right here. I mean, Coco's not really going to be doing too much. I could see Coco retreating here by going for Volt Switch. My opponent's not going to protect here with either Pokemon, which is great, as Volt Switch going to come out into the Incineroar slot, actually. So, not really doing too much damage. Does take a bit more from Life Orb, and let's reveal what that last Pokemon is. Is it Metagross? Is it not Mega? Snorlax, okay. So Snorlax is going to reveal itself now. Hopefully we get the Hornleech off. That would be great. Unfortunately we don't. So that's a little bit annoying. That is a little bit annoying. I don't want to risk my Bulu here because Bulu could be really useful. I do want to go for knockoff into the Snorlax slot. Oh, the Para is going to be really frustrating because I would protect here, but I don't want to risk getting parried again. Do I want to risk getting parried? I don't think Altaria. Like, I'm thinking of self-destruct here, potentially. I'm going to go into Altaria and knock off the Snorlax. Bulu's just too useful, and I do want grassy terrain on the field, so I'll go into Altaria right here on maybe a protect self-destruct, or we're going to see maybe a waterfall. An Ice Punch coming out into Bulu, I think. Okay. So gonna knock out my Altaria there. I think that would have procced my berry on Bulu. Knockoff gonna go out into the Snorlax. Ooh, that does a good amount. It is a Choice Band set. Superpower gonna come out. Ooh, does that knock me out? No, it doesn't. Oh, that's actually a pretty nice survival there. That's a pretty nice survival there, but we'll be able to get Bulu in. And I'm pretty sure Bulu will live an Ice Punch. Bulu doesn't have the worst physical defense in the world. I could go for Hornleech into the Swampert slot. This power really sucks, though. It really does. I can go out into my Cresselia here, and I think I'm going to Hornleech the Swampert slot. Of course, the self-destruct can come out now, but without the Choice Band and -1, I think it might still be able to knock out Bulu, but it won't be able to knock out Cresselia for sure. And I could maybe set up on the... Because if we go for Protect Self-Destruct here, your Swampert is going to be stuck at -2, because Incineroar can come back in, fire off and Intimidate. I have Fake Out Pressure, I can Moonlight, and then I can Calm Mind Stall, depending on does the Tapu Koko hits Thunders. So, Cresselia going to come out here. Let's see what my opponent goes for. Snorlax going to retreat here, so we're going to see the Tapu Koko. And now the big question, I think it comes down to 1, do I live the Ice Punch? And if I do, 2, do I get parried? Because if I do live and get the Hornleech off, that's absolutely huge for my team. But it's a Waterfall instead, actually. Really going on the para, or thinking I'm turning down the Snorlax slot. Hornleech does come out, not fully paralyzed, as I will be able to knock out the Swampert. That is a huge knockout on the Swampert right there. As, yeah, look at all that recovery I just got with my Tapu Bulu. That is fantastic recovery right there. The Snorlax is going to come out. I think Bulu's more reliable to win this game than Incineroar at this point. I think I'm just going to Moonlight with Cresselia and switch out into my Incineroar here. don't think Life Orb Thunder would knock out Cresselia, and 2, you have to rely on Thunder here. I also don't want to fall into a Protect Self-Destruct play, so I will go on my Incineroar so I can live the double up with Cresselia. I'll sack my Incineroar here to get the Intimidate off onto these Pokemon, and then I can maybe get a Wood Hammer off into that Snorlax and probably pick up the knockout, I would assume. Thunder gonna come out, does land, so we'll connect with my Cresselia here. Does actually just pick up the knockout, wow. Huh. Double Edge gonna come out. Okay, I do have Berry on my Bulu, but this got quite close. Because if I don't knock out Snorlax here, I might be in a tough position. Although, the Snorlax doesn't look like it has much bulk. It looks like it's just max HP, max attack most likely, or something of that nature. Because the knockoff did like 40%, which is kind of insane. So, go for a Wood Hammer here. I think it comes down to what do I predict, because my opponent could go for like Self-Destruct here. If we go for Self-Destruct, it would activate my Berry, but the problem is... Nah, I'd rather go for Wood Hammer into Snorlax. I don't want to risk Protect Self-Destruct, which could be a play. Tapu Koko could also go for Gleam. It is going to go for Gleam, so it might come down to Wood Hammer, how much recoil it does to me. I think it will put me in range of my Berry, though, so I will be able to get a Wood Hammer off. Oh, I barely missed a knock on the Snorlax. And that's Heavy Slam! Ah, oh, rip me. Rip me. Ah. So unfortunately, we're gonna lose the first game. That para on Bulu was so big. Because I wouldn't have had to play so defensively with my Swampert. Ugh. And I could have gotten knockout early on, like knock out that Kokos. But solidly played for my opponent in the end game. I think I did what I needed to do, but maybe I could have went more aggressive for my Altaria, for instance. I could have Dragon Dance up turn 1, or maybe the turn I brought it in and then protected turn 2. I think I played a bit too obvious with the Altaria, which was a little bit of a problem. Yeah, I do think playing a bit obvious with the Altaria wasn't that great, but I think that I could have still won that game if I just didn't get parried. Because that's what I was really afraid of, but Thunder does have that 30% accurate, 30% chance to para. I think I could have also won if Thunder missed potentially on my Cresselia that turn. That could have been big. Another play I could have done was stay in with Cresselia, but I felt like if I stayed in with Cresselia, it was just risky because one, I could have lost a game-winning option off of Confusion, and I don't think it was that reliable at that point. And I could save Cresselia for the end game, maybe get Cresselia in next to Incineroar in a late game, and be able to fake out Tapu Koko, get one Calm Mind, and against the physical attackers, I'd be pretty good there. Otherwise, yeah, I think the plays I made were alright. It just came down to, I guess maybe also the fact that there was this one turn I could have made where if I had targeted Tapu Koko, I could have won. The recoil, not getting the recoil onto the Bulu really sucks, because if I procced my Berry, I still probably had a chance, because I could have maybe Horn Leech. I think I would have had to call whether Tapu Koko protects or not the following turn and go for Horn Leech, because if I Horn Leech to Tapu Koko, I think I survived the next attack from Snorlax. But alright, second game, and probably the last game with this team. That was a really long first game. Not Cresselia. Blaziken, Bisharp. Oh, boy. Bisharp and my Milotic on the same team. What? With Salamence, Tapu Koko, and Nidoqueen. This does not look like a fun matchup. Nidoqueen actually looks like it destroys my entire team. I do have my Milotic though. My Milotic's okay here. This is such a weird one. This is gonna be a weird one. I'm not that great against my opponent's team for sure. It's mainly that Bisharp that's really concerning me. Unfortunately, I don't think Altaria can shine in this game. Oh, gee. I was thinking about what I could go there. I think I do want to lead my Milotic Bulu because it does seem like the way I can break through my opponent's team. Then the next two, it was really contemplating because I didn't know what I wanted. Because I had to think about what were my best potential answers. I think I want to go Aegislash and Cresselia, so Aegislash can Toxic down the Milotic. And Cresselia could potentially win if I just get rid of the Bisharp, but that's not how it happens. So this is going to be an interesting one. And we already have a tough lead here. Salamence plus Tapu Koko. I do get the competitive boost, which is nice here. Yeah, that could be really bad, because my opponent could be baiting me into going for Icy Wind. It does look like there's no Blaziken here, which is nice. But yeah, obviously not the most ideal turn. How likely is it for you to target down the Bulu here? Because Milotic's such a big threat, you might target down the Milotic here. How much do I need Bulu? I don't need Bulu too much if I can get rid of Koko. Just how risky am I willing to play turn 1 is my question. Because if I brought Incineroar could have helped here. Because I could have had Fake Out Pressure, and it brought me Altaria. Oh boy. I think I'm going to play risky turn 1. Because I feel like Bulu's not the threat to you. I think you might try to double up my Altaria. And if that's the case, I could try to knock out the Tapu Koko here. I could have also seen Salamence doubling out into Bisharp to get the competitive boost on the Icy Wind. Well, let's see what's going to happen here. Salamence going to Mega Evolve as what are we going to see? As I will protect from my Milotic. Hopefully it's a Thunderbolt Double Edge combination. That's what I'm really hoping for. Yet, Gigavolt Havoc. Oh, I hope my opponent didn't think Gigavolt Havoc KO'd my Milotic because it doesn't in grassy terrain, and then I would have been able to Icy Wind. Oh, this could be a bad turn 1. Gigavolt Havoc going to come out. Target down. I'm guessing it has to be my Milotic. Yep. But who's the Salamence targeting is my question. Yeah, as you saw, it would have knocked me out. What's coming out from the Salamence? Oh, Tailwind. That made this game interesting. I will be able to knock out the Tapu Koko, I think, with the Wood Hammer. Or not, just kidding. Okay. Still not a bad turn. Although I would have really loved to get that Icy Wind off. Not a bad turn, I would say. I got quite a bit of damage. I think now I can go for Icy Wind here. Although you could Volt Switch into... How aggressive do I want to play with my Bulu? Because I kind of want to play aggressive here. I mean, Bulu's threatening to Milotic, but Milotic's not a really big threat to my team. I don't exactly have the safest switch-ins. I think I'm just going to go Aegislash and Icy Wind and hope my opponent doesn't double up into Milotic at this point. Because you saw how aggressively I was playing with Bulu. So I'll go Aegislash here on maybe a double edge here. Nature's Madness is going to come out. Oh, that's targeting out Milotic for sure. Oh, that's Aegislash. Huh. So this might be a bulkier Tapu Koko set. Hyper Voice going to come out. Oh, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. I eat that up. I get an Icy Wind off, and it connects with both. Does this knock out Tapu Koko? Because that'd be amazing if it does. It doesn't, but I get basically a lot of damage right there. That's good damage right there. So Thunderbolt Nature's Madness. And it's a special Salamence, so most likely can't knock out my Milotic. Huh. This made this game really interesting. And look at this recovery I'm getting with the Aegislash. Very nice recovery. How offensive do I want to play? I think I'm just going to protect my Milotic. You know what? I think Double Protect is a safe play here. I don't see a problem with going for Double Protect. Although you could potentially go out hard into Bisharp right here if you do have it. But it looks like my opponent doesn't. Or my Milotic potentially. We'll see here what my opponent does. But I'm going to Double Protect because I don't want to Icy Wind on a chance my opponent goes for that. I want to see what my opponent does. Thunderbolt to Milotic and a Hyper Voice. Okay. Now Gigavolt Havoc... What's his base power? Like 160. Let me see. Thunderbolt, I think, would actually just put me just shy of my berry, I think. I think it just puts me just shy of my berry. Milotic's kind of necessary so I don't lose to the Bisharp. Actually, Hyper Voice wouldn't knock me out based on the damage it did earlier, I think. Wait. No, I don't think it would. I think I'm going to recover here and try to just get rid of the Tapu Koko. Because the Salamence at this point isn't really doing much damage to me, so I'm not really too worried about it. Thunderbolt going to come out into the Aegislash. Okay. Gets a crit. Which probably puts me in range of Hyper Voice. Oh, it doesn't. Okay. A little bit of unfortunate crit, but I do get basically my Milotic back to full, which is absolutely huge, and I will be able to knock out the Tapu Koko here. So, looking ideal here. Because Hyper Voice, Tailwind. What's your last move is my question. Do you have Roost? I wonder if it's Roost as the last move, or it could be like a Flamethrower or some kind of other coverage move. If you had Double Edge, I think you would have went for it already at this point. You get to knock out the Tapu Koko, so Grassy Terrain's here to stay, which is, you know, not too bad. It's not the best for me because of the fact that I could be healing my opponent's Pokemon here. But let's see what my opponent's going to bring out. My Milotic's at full here, which is excellent. My Bulu and Aegislash are damaged, but his Salamence is heavily damaged in return. Blaziken going to reveal itself, so that's an interesting one. How much do you think Superpower would do to Milotic? Do you think this... I don't think it would be Swords Dance Blaziken. I think it would be mixed, if anything. Oh, I think I'm gonna King Shield here. Double Protect King Shield. Blazikens usually tend to run Fire move, Fighting move, Hidden Power, Rock Slide, and then Protect. If this is not Mega Evolution. So it looks like there is no Mega Blaziken, which is actually pretty good for my team. We will double protect here and see what my opponent goes for. It's going to be the Rock Slide here, so maybe trying to get the flinch, or just try to finish on my Aegislash right there, as we will see a Hyper Voice come out once again. So, Aegislash will be able to live a Hyper Voice. I will be able to get a Shadow Ball into the Salamence unless you target it, or Rock Slide, Hyper Voice once again, and Scald will be able to finish out the Blaziken if I don't get a flinch. Grassy Terrain disappears, Speed Boost is going to activate. But yeah, this game has played a lot differently than I thought it would have been. I thought Bisharp would have gave me a lot more trouble. Which is why I need to keep my Milotic alive, because the rest of my team really can't beat Bisharp. I'll Shadow Ball and Scald here. And see what my opponent does, because my opponent doesn't have many options. High Jump Kick. Oh my, geez, that did a lot of damage. Thankfully, I do have my berry still intact. Geez, that did a lot of damage. That did an insane amount of damage. Hyper Voice is going to come out, but I should be able to get a double knockout here if I'm not mistaken. Or I missed a knockout on Salamence, which wouldn't be ideal, but I guess it wouldn't be the worst case. Do finish out the Blaziken right there. Nice. And the Shadow Ball finish off the Salamence, because it did take a good amount from Icy Wind, but I just can't tell if that's bulky Salamence right off the bat. Shadow Ball gonna come out. Does finish off the Salamence, and now it's a 4v1 position in my favor. And let's see what that last Pokemon is. I really want to know what that last Pokemon is. Is it gonna be the Bisharp? It is Bisharp, so I'm really surprised my opponent didn't try to bring it out earlier. But yeah, I think Bisharp was just too good against my team not to bring it. I think as long as I just keep aggressively targeting down the Bisharp, I should be good. Bisharp doesn't get any spread moves as far as my knowledge goes, so I should be able to finish off the Bisharp if I just keep attacking it, because Bisharp doesn't have the best defenses in the world. And yeah, luckily since I didn't bring Intimidate, Bisharp's not exactly that scary, although I would have liked Incineroar here, but the match is going to be forfeit. We will take a 1-1, so we're going, what? 4 videos in a row. 1-1. Alright. But I do realize what I could have played better in the first game, and I do realize some mistakes in the second game. I don't know, I feel like I didn't play too well. I was just lucky that my opponent's tools weren't really that great against me, because having special Salamence just meant it couldn't really do too much damage. I did play aggressively with the Bulu turn 1. It could have been like a, just a knockout to Bulu turn 1, which could have been pretty bad, but what I thought was, okay, you might just go Thunderbolt here because it doesn't proc a berry, then you could go Double Edge if you have it, and after seeing Tailwind, I still don't know if you had Double Edge or not, but most of them do carry Return, so maybe at that point I was hoping maybe I could survive the Thunderbolt Return combination, but seeing the special Salamence was a big relief because of the fact that it just wasn't able to touch my Meloic, but that high jump kick did way more damage than I expected. But I hope that everyone enjoyed today's episode of VGC 2018 Baek Battles. If you did, please leave a like down below, show some support, as well as you can check out the rest of my stuff down below in the description, such as my social medias, the side series on the channel, the previous episodes of VGC 2018 Baek Battles if you haven't missed them, as well as feel free to leave a comment down below. And of course, there is the paste bin of this team if you do want to go try it out. Otherwise, I think that's going to be it. Next time we'll be using a brand new team, and it should be an exciting one, so stay tuned. Have a great day, people, and until we battle again, I'll catch y'all later.